And I swear, if you don't have my money back by this Tuesday,
Bitch better have his money.
Everyone at this table will be ruined.
What?
With a knife. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the SourceFed podcast.
I'm so scared.
That's a death stare right there, Will. You're giving Steve right now. That is a dangerous-looking death stare, and all Steve is doing in retaliation is making his nose into a pig-like shape up against his microphone.
What happened between you two?
Do you guys need to go out into the car park and take it outside? Yeah.
I always loved Steve. Don't think I didn't. You don't think I've always loved you?
Car park?
Oh my God!
Is that where cars go to
Parking
go on
lot.
slides and swings?
I feel like, Steve, I know it's for sure true for me. Sometimes life goes on and I'm out of it. And I hear everything and I'm paying attention, but sometimes I'm also in a different place.
You used to call that the void.
The void. I used to go into the
I like
void.
that.
You used to go into the void.
You just space out a little.
I used to like
Yeah.
to go into the void with you.
Especially when you're doing a bit. Sometimes if
Yeah.
a bit is especially not really a joke, but just an expression of your true feelings.
Right. Well, you and I used to do fun dances on the dance floor, and we would go into the void together.
I'll always do that with you.
But back to car parks. Do you think that cars drink out of gasoline fountains instead of water
I
fountains?
sure hope so.
Oh, okay. Me too.
If your car was a person, would it be nice? Yours would be very clean. Your car would be very
She
clean.
would be clean.
Mine would be like an Italian.
Yours would, but it'd be like fun Italian. It'd be like beep beep, you know, like
Yeah.
You've got
like
a
the
little
Fiat,
Fiat.
in
In the
cars.
movies? I've never seen the Cars movies.
That's not a bad thing, bud.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
I
Do
like
you wanna
it.
keep that class?
Let's tell everyone what kind of cars we drive so they can get a good picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Steve's got a Fiat and it's
Fiat
black.
500 pop.
You should just.
Boy or girl?
Boy or girl.
Well, it's always a girl, isn't it?
That's what I hear. But I said
It's
I
always
was
a
Whatever you
girl.
want.
Mine's. I mean, I call mine Heisenberg, but I also call my guitar Heisenberg. So I don't know. Maybe I need to think of something
But you
else.
said it's an Italian man.
Well, I said it would be Italian, but I didn't say it would be an
you
Italian
didn't.
man.
Okay.
Ooh.
So it would be like a Sophia Loren.
Who else?
It would be a pasta lady.
A Megan Bialik.
A
It would be
Guigi.
a Guigi.
And a kid from Punky
A
Brewster.
squeegee.
My favorite food in the whole world is Italian food, and I've never been
Yeah.
to Italy, and I don't want to go because I assume that's where the best things in my life would be.
I've heard
and I don't
that-
want to have that yet.
But I've
Wanna
heard that.
peek too early.
Yeah,
Out
it's
of a
way too
pasta?
early. Yeah, on the pasta, on a fettuccine alfredo.
Oh, fettuccine Alfredo.
I've heard that our Italian food is not like real Italian
That's
food.
true, huh?
So be careful, Will.
But there's this place in
You
want to
know
Monica.
why?
Why?
Because they're so drunk over there.
They're so drunk.
When they're
Can you
eating,
say that?
they're drunk. Yeah, you say that.
dash
I've been there.
is like,
I've been there.
I've been
Can I
there,
just say,
yeah.
I went to this Italian restaurant, obviously in Italy, because it's an Italian, because I was there.
Wait, if you go to a Taco Bell in Italy, is it an Italian?
No.
Okay.
And a fettuccine taco.
Okay, so the guy, we walk in, it's a restaurant, and he's like, do you want to see the dungeon? And we're like,
the fuck?
what? And I was
Oh,
with my
no.
family.
Don't
and I
ever
was
say
like-
that to a woman. Don't.
Oh, I was with my family. I was like, Dad, you'll protect me, right? And he was like, yeah, let's go down to the dungeon. And so we go down to the dungeon.
Dungeon?
And in the dungeon, it's just it's like vats of limoncello. And they just gave us limoncello.
What is
and we
limoncello?
got smashed. It's like this
It's like
insane
a sweet
alcohol.
dessert kind of almost liqueur, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's really easy to drink. It goes down a treat.
What is not easy to drink?
Try chugging whiskey.
That might have been the most complicated question in humanity.
What is
Oh,
not
that's a
easy to
complication.
drink?
Yeah.
That's a complicated question to ask someone that doesn't drink. So it's like, imagine like whiskey. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, no. Okay.
Like water is probably the easiest thing to drink.
Bleach.
The first time I
Yeah.
drank bleach, okay, actually, I always get worried about everything I do and say, and I was gonna make a joke about, oh, when I drank bleach, it's
I was
okay.
gonna say the first
And-
time you drank bleach.
And then what if somebody was walking by this video, a young person, overheard drinking bleach, and it was in their subconscious, and they drank bleach, and we covered it on SourceFed, and it was all my fault.
Hold on.
Oh my
if some
God.
'Cause you're not
kid
coming back.
is dumb enough to hear us talking about drinking bleach and they drank bleach, I think it's okay for them to move on.
What if they're
That's
like
not on us.
6?
I think it's
That's
like
not on
it's
us.
not on us.
I
That's
mean,
bad parenting.
Don't let your baby drink bleach, all right? All right?
Yeah, I don't know who's teaching their kids it's okay to drink bleach.
No one. Well,
What I had.
someone. There is, of course, there's someone.
Someone who
someone.
didn't want kids ever.
Oh, wait, everybody, welcome to the show. This is SourceFed Podcast.
What did it say on your phone?
Are
I
you
wonder.
going to intro the show?
Completely forgot. I am absolutely sorry. I'm William Haynes.
This is Will's first time hosting the SourceFed
Yay.
podcast.
You guys know me, all right? You know, I'm not good at order, all right?
I know you'll like introduce us right at the very end and be like, "Oh, that was a good joke," because it was a SourceFed podcast.
Welcome to the SourceFed Podcast. Well, if you guys like the show, make sure you're going over on iTunes and give us a good rating and let us know how you feel.
Well, or a good review.
A good review. Review.
But there's a rating system as well. I hate it when people go 3 stars. It was so amazing. I loved everything. And you're like, well, what happened to 5 then? Why would you give a 3-star review when it was?
Maybe they have a threshold and they're like, I only give things that are like more than amazing 5 stars.
I had a rule, and I still hold it to this day. Like, YouTube used to be 5 stars. I would only give a 5-star or 1-star rating. But ever since they have the like or dislike,
Yeah.
I've never disliked the video.
Yeah.
I don't matter that much.
The rating system to me, like giving someone 3 stars is like saying, it was really good. Like, I liked it. Like that. That's what 3 stars means to me.
The longest words. You make them really long.
I'm bad
So
at
go
reviews.
fuck yourself, Mom.
Who am I to get to say what something was? Who am I?
Well, you're a person with an
Yeah.
opinion, and some people want to know what your opinion is.
Yeah, we are literally rating everyone constantly.
Constantly.
Oh, you
That
really
is
tried
one letter
something?
away from being a bad thing.
You wanted to put a picture out and we get to look at it. Well, it wasn't good enough. Maybe go back, lose some weight, put some more makeup on.
Right?
And then you know what? When someone actually does a really good job of that and they have 700,000 Instagram followers and then they quit.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna
That
talk
was
about a little
smooth.
bit of news this time. We got some news stories that went on this week, and we're gonna talk about them just a little bit. How do you guys feel? So the first story that we're gonna talk about today is the story of Senna O'Neill, who you guys may recall is an Instagram model, very
past
successful,
tense.
got lots of over 700,000 followers. She's only 19 years old, from Australia, but she decided one day after getting all her ad endorsements that wasn't real life. That she said social media isn't real life. She changed the captions on a lot of
That
all
was
of
my
most of her
favorite
photos.
thing that she did. She actually explained every photo that she took. It looked so effortless and natural. She's like, "Oh, I'm just laying down at the beach," and she's like, "No,
I had to take 100 photos like this, yelling at my sister to make my stomach look smaller," she said. And it's also kind of sad that, you know, the type of work that people have to go in and feel that they need to have to do to present themselves to society to be successful or happy.
Yeah.
But eventually she decided that wasn't how she felt anymore. And she's like, I'm broke. And she asked everybody for money. So
Oh, I know." And I actually really supported that whole thing until she was like, "Oh man, real life. This is."
So, but there are people that are saying that this might have been like a hoax from the very start. Like it was her way of gaining attention or something, right?
This
do you
story-
think so?
Well, I thought
story-
there were some people saying that she was a fraud, and like weren't your twin friends saying that?
Oh, yeah. They were saying, they made a video saying that a lot of the things she said in the video wasn't true, that she wasn't really showboating around. She was here on vacation. There's like lots of stories. And I'm like, no offense to anybody, but like that's a different story. Like I mean, like that's just that's people like
She
to
was
find something and add
embellishing.
fire under it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we
She was
could all
trying to
chill.
paint a picture,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you know, she'd sort of say something as an embellishment to you know, say, "This is where I was at in my life. I was doing all these sorts of things," and they took one little bit of it and were like, "Actually,
Yeah.
that's a lie." This is actually what's called tall poppy syndrome, and this is an Australian thing where it's like if you do really, really well and you're successful, people want to hate on you for that.
Yeah.
It's like, screw you for being
And
successful.
I think it's also because of how we are accessible to the news now. People in America, we like a story that evolves and gets bigger, so we can follow back up on it every day because it's so easy to do that
Yeah.
now. So I think that's why we can take anything. But how do you guys feel about it? Do you think social media is real life or no?
No, of course not. To an extent. I mean, if you go somewhere and you take a picture and you're like, I was at this really cool museum or Kamikaze, for instance, and here's what happened there. Like, of course, that's real life. That happened.
Yeah.
My issue with this whole thing is I applaud the idea behind it, but she went about it like the wrong way. She
How
could
is
have
she to
just
know, though?
deleted her entire account
She's
and said
19.
and written a letter saying this is not real life by going under each picture. And she probably did get paid by a lot of brands to promote certain things.
What was that?
Siri is just really
Siri,
getting into it.
all day, okay.
Siri just wrote down everything I said. I saw that. Did you see that?
Oh, it's a cool museum work comp real life that you might use you with the whole thing.
Is that what I sound like?
That's what we
That's
hear.
exactly what you said. Every word there is what you said. And
Siri
we
never
understood
gets it
somehow.
wrong. Siri's like 100% success rate.
I think the crazy part about this is that we have to realize that the girl is 19
She's
years old.
19.
I was 19 3 years ago. I'm a completely different person. I've learned. When I was 19, I was like, I've learned everything. How do you think you've evolved since then?
Oh, my
a ton.
goodness.
So much. Yeah,
Every day
a
I'm
different
still-
person, for
If
sure.
you-
Guys, when I was 19, there wasn't any Facebook.
What was
Yeah.
that like?
You were like
Steve
literally
would
the
know.
only
I know
one
Steve would know.
older than me.
What was it?
Steve, you just got me. I believed you. You snuck in.
You really did.
What I do appreciate about this thing is that we are all sucked up in social media. Every day it's like, oh, I've got to put a photo out so that people know that I'm still relevant and I'm still busy and I'm doing things. And, you know, you do try and tell the best parts of your life through social media. You'll always do positive Facebook status updates. Oh, my God, guess what? Or with a, you know, oh, I've got a new shirt. Or, oh, wow, great new job.
And I also say, what's wrong with that? Because I feel like what you were saying that they do, that when someone's successful, we hate on them. When someone is sad or depressed, we shame them. What do we only accept averageness? What is it that we want?
I think that's the relatability.
Yeah.
If you've got 700,000 followers and you're constantly putting out perfection, the reason why she's got so many followers is because people look up to her. They're like, it's all about, you know, influence. And I know that's such a buzzword, but it's just
I don't
like,
think it's bad.
But there is kind of like an aspect of it too that's like very different from like the older days where like a celebrity was popular because of like this and that, and we knew that they spent frivolously, and Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous was like a show where they would show the houses they lived in and shit.
that's right.
But like nowadays, like a YouTuber could show off every little free thing they're given from a company on their Instagram. And it kind of creates this like subgroup of people that are like, I want all that stuff, but they're not really seeing that the reason why a lot of people are getting that stuff is because they're working hard towards what they're getting. You know,
no matter what you do, like there's hard work being put in everywhere.
Definitely.
Yeah, so people are like wanting to be these celebrities or YouTubers or something, not realizing that you can't just become a YouTuber. You can't just like make YouTube videos and then hope that that's going to be like your gold mine. You kind of have to like do something. You have to do more than that.
You can tell the people that are on different types of social media who are doing something or just there, like this person, and we're like, that's I think what makes people the most angry. It's like, why do people know you? Why are you famous? Why do you have money?
it's like modern art. And I think that honestly, like YouTubing and what we are in this current day, Instagram models, it's literally like, it's
art.
the modern day version of modern art. Because when you go into a modern art museum, you'll look at something, it's a frame with 2 colors of stripes of paint and it's selling for $90,000. And the way you can define modern art is, oh, I could have done that. Yeah, but you didn't.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are really angry with her and they're criticizing her and being horrible. Like most of the stuff I've seen about this story is people on my Facebook that are friends of mine that are just like bashing her. And what they don't realize is like on your quest for perfection, especially if you're an unstable person to begin with and you're 19 and you have societal standards, you have all of this, you have young girls looking up to you, at what point is it going to like break you as a person? Is all this negative criticism, all these things you have to do to obtain perfection, at what point is it going to like destroy your life?
I think what a lot of those people do is they eventually realize that like all the amazing amounts of love and all the amazing amounts of hate, you kind of have to just like separate in your life. I think I was telling Darren, like you get out of 90, if you look in a YouTube comment section, there's like a lot of people that will very much support you and some people that will not support you. There's 90%, but you got to take the 5% of hate and love that are coming from,
Close friends?
from like close friends or anybody who is different, has a different opinion.
Or just kind of develop a tougher skin in a way too, because you're going to be out in the public eye and nobody thinks the same way. I mean, not everybody thinks the same way. So you got this vast majority of people with differing opinions, and they're going to say some terrible shit to you.
Sure.
And you kind of have to just let it kind of
how?
bounce
But
off.
at what point do you say, okay, I'm going to try to toughen up? But at what point do you say, but this
Can't
is
take
wrong?
this anymore. Yeah.
But
Well,
at
if
what
if
point
it's-
are you like, but I want to toughen up and I want to speak up for what I truly believe in, which is really not this, which is what she was saying. But it's she believed it was wrong and she like grew up and had a realization.
And
And
then
it's like, do we
But then she
as a
immediately took it
society,
back, is what we're
okay,
saying,
okay,
right?
but we haven't gotten there yet. But as a society, do we keep telling people to toughen up or do we
Or do
tell
we-
people
yeah, it's one way
to
see it. It's
soften
like,
up?
What you take, you need to deal with. All that shit coming at you, you need to be able to take it. It's like, well, what if we stop throwing shit?
Right?
You know, what if we
Well,
actually...
that's never gonna stop though. Like we have this
But we
disgusting
with that
balance.
attitude.
Right, but we
well,
could
I would
try.
love to change it somehow, but unfortunately, we have this
But by
historical.
telling a young girl to toughen up, a 19-year-old who has like body image
well, no,
issues.
that's true. But I'm just saying that there is like there's a different category for all this stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's like some of it is toughen up, some of it is let's try to stop it, some of it is this. But having a nice balance of everything is really the only way to stay sane because you're really not gonna stop people from talking shit on the internet. That's literally
It's
never
too
gonna
anonymous.
stop.
It's too
That
anonymous.
is never gonna stop.
Right. But you can say, hey, you realize that you're bashing a 19-year-old girl, right?
I
Yeah,
actually,
but
I
there's-
really admired what she did, and actually, my Facebook feed was flooded with support of people going, "Thank God we've got this impressionable young
Yeah.
girl who spent her whole life trying to look perfect and beautiful and cashing in on all these products, who is just calling it for what it is." And
Yeah.
social media can be absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
If you constantly project levels of perfection that isn't real at all. And when she did her video,
also-
no makeup, tears were coming out. She's like, kind of like, this is the real me. Like,
But were people like how many people really believed that was real life? Like, is there?
I know,
really,
right?
It is,
like,
though.
But who really think? I guess there are some people, younger people,
who look at that and say like that is just literally a candid photo of her she took with
some
no
people
preparation
who are growing
whatsoever.
up and this is how they're perceiving the world for the first time.
Yeah, this is all they know.
They can't tell.
Yeah.
They can't
Yeah.
tell. With like things like Facetune and things that people are doing to make themselves look like different
Yeah.
people, they're like growing up thinking, oh, ass does get that big. It doesn't.
3 of my best
doesn't.
friends growing up in an all-girls school in high school, there was 4 of us, and all 3 of them got anorexia.
Yeah.
They are influential, and when you're in a time when you're growing as a woman and all you get told is if you're skinny and pretty, you'll do well in life.
Yeah.
You see someone like that and they're effortlessly putting out these photos,
I mean,
you
it's-
go, well, it's not that easy for
and-
me. I'm doing something wrong. I need to eat less. I need
It's
to
also
be
not
better.
just
you.
the internet that does that, though. It's
No,
also
you're right.
all of media, magazines,
Yep.
movies, TV shows.
What was it like
bus
looking at-
ads, advertisements?
What was it like looking at Sports Illustrated back before Facebook? Was that hot?
Instagram.
Well, there was the Sports Illustrated
Instagram.
swimsuit edition, which was the coveted kind of like TNA Skinamax
Was that
stroke
the best
stuff.
jerk material?
No, that was
No,
the
Playboy.
That was like
Was
the
it? Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the
yeah.
that was the like the just TNA like no nudity. That was like the safe for work stuff.
Yeah.
The safe for work
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But
God
hold on
damn.
a second. So you guys are talking
I'm
about the
sorry.
support that this girl got, and how it's like good for her for standing up. But we're not talking about how she backed up
So
and,
what?
and
So what
regretted
happened?
all of it.
So let's finish the story now.
Yeah.
Do you
So
know?
what happened,
'Cause
Will?
I actually don't know the
I
end
think that's
result.
just what's going on right now.
So, but
That's-
you said that she went online and said, "Oh shit, now I don't have money. Oops,
and I think
sorry."
apparently she asked to be sent some or
Oh,
something.
no, she created a website because what she did, she changed her Instagram page from her name to like Let's Make a Change. I think it is something like that, .org.
Love
and
that
then,
Michael Jackson song.
And
Yeah,
then on that website, I think there was a donations page area. And it's like,
That
oh,
must be so
you just
embarrassing.
earned, you were saying $1,000+ for an Instagram picture just because you're holding a product, and now you're needing donations.
Yeah.
It's like, get a job. That's what we all had
That's
to do.
what we all
Yeah.
have to
I worked
do.
at a bakery.
But once again, she's just young, and I mean, I know I'm young too, but like you learn.
No,
but I've had to have a
Isn't
job
there-
in my
isn't-
life.
I mean, and again, is a 19-year-old
Not that that
girl,
isn't
so
a
it's
job.
not like there's a group of PR people that could kind of like help
Sway
her figure
her.
out her shit
Yeah,
or
she's gotta
whatever.
do it on her own.
But like, couldn't you potentially like take that concept of telling the massive droves of people that Instagram is bullshit and these Instagram models are like, a lot of it is fake and a lot of it is fakery, and also can't you just keep doing it too, but also just be an advocate for how much
Yeah.
bullshit it is
Absolutely.
as well?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I feel like she kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, she got a global response. She got
Right,
That must be
right,
incredible.
but the response is fine. But personally, for her, it seems like she jumped the gun a little bit because now she's kind of like, "Oops, now I don't know what to do
right.
about
and
money."
my quick question is, the let's make a change, is that, hey guys, I need money because I'm broke now? Or is it, hey,
Let's find out.
let's donate money to this to a cause and let's start an organization that's going to change things?
Because if that's what
a
it is,
difference.
because that is a different thing, and that's great, and
Yeah.
I love that. But couldn't there be a way for her to balance both and then
Right.
funnel the money from her BS modeling stuff into the let's change
That's
this
a
shit?
great-
now
movement?
you're
Great
asking an Instagram
point.
model who spent her entire life only know to look perfect. Now she has to create a business for
Well-
you to accept her.
Well, no,
and
but
this
she was
situation.
already a business. If she was
Yes.
already a business.
Here, I mean,
Okay.
I understand what you're saying because I agree with that to an extent. If you don't believe in that shit, call it out and say, hey, I'm only
This
going to
is what
promote
it is.
brands that I actually like and use.
Yes, because I still make money this way. I still survive this way. This is what I'm good at, and this is what I'm gonna do for a living.
Yeah.
And call it out, but still, exactly. Only push the products that you believe in.
That's what
that you
I
like,
personally
and-
would
yeah.
do, but it would be
you
unfair
got
to
6 years
criticize
on
her.
her.
Yeah, not just that, but like,
well, it depends on what she's specifically attacking. Like, if she's attacking the fact that it's very easy for a pretty girl to make money on Instagram, then maybe that's a little bit of a double standard.
yeah.
This is
Did
some
you find
crazy.
out? What did you find out?
I'm seeing some more about the Nina and Randa video, and everybody's talking smack. They're in like beefing. It's incredible. This is like some serious. Like I always say, throw it on wax. If you got an issue with somebody,
But I
put
mean,
it-
we're trying to figure out like what is this site
organization?
that she-
Actually, let's go to this organization site. Let's
We'd
make a
love to hear
change.
from you guys as well. Obviously, like this story blew up. It did go global. Everyone's kind of had their opinion on it. We're putting ours forward. What do you think about
Let
this whole
us know
thing?
what you think.
Do you
And
think
let's-
social media is fake? Are you glad that she kind of broke the mirror from that?
And let's go on to
I
our
am. Real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just have to say one more thing.
closing comments from everyone.
I'm sorry. It's the right idea. It really is. Like I'm straight up. Maybe it may be a hoax. I don't care what it is. The point is like
You're for it.
calling something out, and saying, hey, maybe we do need to change something. That's brave. That's courageous.
But what is the change she's asking for? Is
she's just
what I
saying-
want to know.
But by just saying like, hey guys, my stomach doesn't look like that. I had to twist like a goddamn pretzel, and this took 2 hours to take this picture. I just wanted to make you aware of that fact that this isn't perfect.
Yeah.
That does make a change, because in a young girl's mind or boy's mind, they're thinking, oh, okay, so this person's
It's like watching a
basically
movie
performer.
and then understanding it takes 3 months to get a 90-minute film.
Yeah.
It's that
So
kind of
closing
thing.
thoughts, Bree.
So Bree's saying she's for it. I'm definitely for
I'm
it.
for it. I don't know, because we didn't do enough research in the aftermath of like she's asking for money. I don't know what that is and what that's going towards. So I just can't criticize her in a bad way.
I'm with you on the whole like revealing bullshit
Yeah.
thing. I think that's great. If you can reveal bullshit, in fact, one of my favorite television shows of all time was Penn and Teller's Bullshit, and that show was
yeah.
fucking amazing. If you've never seen it, please look for it.
It's about two musicians who they see another magician come do a trick, and then they try to figure out if they can.
No, it's not even that.
Oh.
It's literally it's Penn and Teller taking everything that
Oh,
people
this is a different show,
strongly
yeah.
believe in and proving it's bullshit.
HBO.
There's like chiropractors and
Oh,
there's like
wow, okay.
acupuncture and there's like religion is one
Okay,
of the
wait.
ones that they tackle.
Is it bullshit? Are chiropractors bullshit?
I think it is.
Do you think so?
I don't know. According to the show, I think it was, but I think I need to watch it again. But it's such a great show because it really was doing something. It was utilizing television viewership and celebrity to say
It's like lifting the veil.
this is bullshit and here's why. And that was something nobody was doing on TV. I mean, the closest thing to it, I think, was like maybe Cosmos, where they were like, here's some real science and like here, make your own decisions. So the fact that she's at least initially, from what we've learned, is she's kind of like pulling the curtain up and kind of revealing what's going on in the Instagram world. I'm all for that, 100%. Now, whether it's a hoax or if there's some nefarious thing behind it and some kind of money-making scheme or something, that's the suspect part. But I don't
Yeah.
know enough about it. So
Yeah.
Mott?
Oh, I'm for it. Like I said, she's in a position where young girls are looking up to her, and they're completely, they're in. They just don't know what's reality, and she's completely broken the mirror for that one and let them see what the truth is behind it all. The fact that this second video and the kind of how it's escalating and people fighting it, I get a little bit upset when I read in comments and they're just like, attention whore. If she really wanted to quit social media, she would have just quit. It's like, I love that she used what she had, her platform, and she spread a message for good, for
Yeah.
a positive message.
Okay.
So I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
What about you, Will?
okay, well, anyway.
We got
can
final
keep going.
thoughts.
We can keep
All
going.
right,
you, Will?
I'm whatever. Social media can be art sometimes. Well, like I said on, I think it was the White Wall today, it's like when you take things that are fake and things that are real and put them together, you get entertainment. Like that's what we just had right there.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. So next we got another story that happened in the news this week that you guys may have seen the viral video of an Uber driver who is driving a guy in the back who is too drunk. He's just mumbling. The driver can't find where to take him, and he pulls over and he says, "I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna have to get out of the car because you're too drunk to give me directions." And he's like, "Man, no, I don't want to go." And he's like, "Sorry, man, you gotta get
That was
the fuck."
verbatim.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
that's what he said.
Great
It said right here,
impression.
"Da-dum, dum, dum." And,
Doom, doom, doom.
no, can you read that? And then So, but the guy in the back was not happy. So he
Clobbered.
he clobbered him.
Yeah.
He got him good. Did he not?
It's so.
He was beating him up from the back.
Bros being bros.
There's a video of it.
I'm so sorry you're a victim, but you got your ass whooped. Then he got some pepper spray and then whooped his
It's quite
ass.
a vulnerable position though when someone is behind you and you're in a seat
Yeah.
and you can't move anywhere.
And this dude's arms are the biggest things ever. He would
They were
have
bigger
murdered
than
me.
the car.
He
was-
I'm
would've
surprised
killed
he
me.
fit in the car with those
I'm
arms.
surprised
Yeah.
he was like, it took them. He had to help him into the car.
Yeah.
But it turned out that man was actually a Taco Bell executive and he got fired.
Whoops.
Ooh.
The reason why we brought this up is because it's a lot like the last one. Is they had something and they immediately lost it. What do you guys think about
Well, he
that?
had a
Well, I
lot.
think he needs to spill the beans, if you know what I
He needs to come out and say why he really hit this
mean.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is definitely not the first time something like this has happened. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, hilarious, and entertaining all at the same time.
You mean happened to him?
You know what I do love? No, the whole situation is kind of just ridiculous and funny and sad and fucked up, but like, more so ridiculous and funny. But I feel like it's amazing that Taco Bell was like, fuck this guy,
Yeah.
and they
Oh.
immediately fired him.
Well, that's straight out assault.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if this guy's really an executive, there are a lot of companies that would probably just be like, well, he's going to apologize and he's on probation or we're going to take a yacht away or something. No, Taco Bell was like, fuck this,
we
you're
did not.
out.
No
and I think that's
negligence.
great. That's amazing. Good on them
Yet
for that.
another reason to love Taco Bell, right?
You can't, as if there were any more reasons.
I know.
So,
I like
yeah.
the recent
And-
commercials.
but real quick, adding on, this guy apologized.
Yes.
He issued an apology where he is not in his backwards bro cap, and he is very somber. And he claims to have been blackout drunk, doesn't remember a thing, and he does seem very sincere. in
I'm
it.
sure
But
he
you know,
is.
he
yeah.
asked
But
if he
you
could
know-
wear his backward bro cap, and the PR person was like, "Do not."
They told him no, and he like got his fists ready,
Yeah,
and
he's
they
like,
were like,
"I'm
"What
so
the fuck,
mad."
man?" Yeah.
He's like, Ed Hardy shirt or button up? Put on the button up, bro.
Put on the button up and fucking throw that can of Axe away,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
exactly.
It was good that he apologized though.
Yeah.
He said he didn't really know how to, and obviously, again, things blow up. It's not like one country hears about
Well-
something; it's viral. Things.
Okay, but I
Yeah.
gotta say, well, go ahead. What
I'm
were
just
you
saying
gonna say?
also because now more than ever we're always being filmed. This kind of shit has been happening. People fuck up, but now there's a camera everywhere.
That's
Everywhere,
what I'm
everyone's
gonna
got
say.
a
So
GoPro.
when we're online, we are so anonymous. So we can write whatever we want, and there's no repercussions. There's no responsibility for anything you have to do. You're like a hero in your own mind because you're like indestructible. This will never come back to me. Now that when you leave your computer and you go outside, there are so many surveillance cameras in cars, on streets, in public transport. You do one thing outside of being off the computer,
Yeah.
everyone sees
Well,
it.
some people don't give a shit, and also, I guess he was to a point of drunkenness where it didn't matter if he was being filmed or not because he didn't remember where the fuck he even
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like this even deeper issue going on. Because I mean, like, I feel like the fact that everybody's being filmed should at least be an awareness thing. Like, know that you could be filmed at any moment.
Everyone's
Yeah.
got a camera.
How much crimes have been committed in the background of a Snapchat? Like,
But
yeah.
I will say this kind of like machismo, like losing your shit anger thing is definitely a bigger issue. Like, and I think
Fuck
that,
machismo
in fact,
people.
I was in an Uber with
come after
Bree
you.
recently,
They'd
and
kill me.
we were in an Uber with this
yeah.
guy who was like super nice guy, and he was just like, talking us up, and he was just like, we were having a great conversation, and then at one point he's like, man, sometimes I get so angry, I feel like I might punch a woman.
Oh, what
Yeah,
the-
he did say that. And
Wait,
you know me, you guys, everyone knows me. You know my feelings on a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
You know I was in the back, like, let me the fuck out
Yeah.
of here.
What the
fuck?
Not
And
okay.
and then he was like, I would never do it, but I get so angry that I'm like, oh my fuck. First of all, you shouldn't be an Uber
I'm just saying,
driver.
why would you say that? Why would
I
that
mean,
come out
he
of
was
your
so
mouth?
comfortable with us apparently,
Is-
and he's like, he was like.
Was he on stage at the Comedy Cellar?
No, he
on
also,
in the
kept,
Uber?
he also kept kind of talking about how like he was brought up to kind of like not take shit from people, and sometimes,
He
using
thinks,
your
no,
fist.
he said everything gets solved with violence.
Well,
he says it's better to punch it out than talk it out.
Well, and he said there's these situations where like there was this video that was online of these two guys that were arguing in a bar, and they were like, let's take it outside. They fucking punch
the
each other
car
up a
park?
bunch of times, and then they finish and they go like, all right, let's go back inside and
See,
I'll buy you a beer or something. And he thought that was something to be like, he thought that was a great example of how like violence can sometimes solve
I'm gonna say some
situations.
risky shit. I'm gonna say some
Go
risky
for
shit
it.
because I haven't
Here
thought
we
about
go.
it. I say some people need therapy. All people are different. Some people.
I think most people need
But
therapy.
most people need therapy. That'll work with some people. Everybody's different. So there's some people out there who cannot talk it out, and those people, they're like, I just gotta duke it out.
Well, because
now you guys, all you duke it out people can duke it out with each other. Us non-duke it out people will be.
Leave us alone.
Yeah, we'll have having
Maybe
conversations.
there should be a big like a big test to like a big written out like fill in the bubble test of like
our eugenics
which
conversation
people
we've had before.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've had. I know we always come down to this test, but it's like you're right. There are people who they get to a certain point in an argument where their fists start to like their knuckles start to get white and they don't want and they can't.
There's anger issues.
But or just a psychological block of wanting to talk it out. Like you could be mostly it's probably anger. But
I'm not the I don't oh yeah. Sorry.
I've got a theory about why it's mainly men who are like, I'd just rather beat him up and don't say I can't. It's not manly to express emotions. So men are strong. So if it's like if you want to talk about emotions, you're a pussy.
But I mean, there is also. But on the other side of that, though, there are like at least in a lot of what I've experienced in my personal life and in like reading the internet all day is that there are women who are certainly attracted to a more machismo.
Yeah, but that's also
angry
their
guy.
upbringing.
So it is. It's kind of like this.
I respect them though.
There's this whole.
There are firefighters.
Yeah. But the problem is when I was in high school, it was definitely more the guys that were stronger and would start fights and were more machismo were the guys that got the girls and were hanging out with all the girls and had better
because
friends.
There's a stigma that women need a man to look after them and provide for
But
them.
I mean, it seems
throw 'em
like
around the bedroom.
It's
some people want to be provided for.
Some people want to be provided for and fought for, and some people find strength and machismo attractive.
Let's just get out of California and move all the fucking duke it out people into California. All y'all can fight and do. It's Old West. Wear your boots and
do your thing. Do your thing. That's fine. I personally, unpopular opinion here, maybe not. I don't know.
Damn, give it to us, Bree.
Listen. Hitting women's bad, but also fucking violence. To me is bad. Whether you're a man or a woman, a man hitting a man hitting a woman, like why?
A woman
There's
hitting a
no
man, still
other
not
than
okay.
self-defense, and it's got to be bad. Like to me, it's got to be bad. This video that I saw is repulsive. Like I'm just like I know he was blackout drunk. I know he probably didn't mean to do it, but the fact is he did. He got fired. Good. I personally think he should have been arrested.
What's that have to do with his job?
You got $10,000 fine, I believe.
I mean, just because you don't know how to operate yourself in a vehicle, you can't work.
Well, I heard that he could go to jail still.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And a fine.
Well,
it was pretty
straight
violent,
up assault caught on video.
yeah.
For no reason.
How many times is
No
this happening
reason.
when there is no proof of it?
Yeah.
That's-
So
I mean,
it's not cool.
I'm of the camp that like obviously I feel personally violence is not the answer, like you're saying. and
No,
what's
but
the
if
point
this
of
guy
violence?
that was our Uber driver is like, hey, man, I don't like you, you don't like me, let's duke it out, and there's a consensual agreement to go duke it out, fine. Go do that, fine.
And that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say again, kind of like the whole like internet bullshit of people talking shit on the internet is never gonna end. So is this violence.
But
that's never going to end
attacks
either.
Are not.
Attacks will
It's not
never
cute.
end. And the only way to kind of like maybe justify it is like, well, maybe there should be a way to teach violence in the sense of like, yeah, maybe it's a consensual violence.
A consensual violence.
Yeah,
Let's go in the hallway and beat each other's ass.
Yeah, or it's like, start a fight club
Take it
or
out
something.
to the boxing
Start a fight
ring.
club.
Yeah.
Where everybody knows what's up.
You duke it out people need to start opening up buildings.
Oh my God, what if they have? And this whole time it's been called Dukes. It's a national chain, and really that's just a front.
It's just a bar. Yeah, it's just a
Fight
bar.
clubs are. Every Dukes is a fight club.
That's fucking.
yeah.
What if we didn't know? Us non-duke it out people couldn't tell that bars were actually where duke it out people went to find someone to duke it out
We
with.
had it all wrong.
Yeah, we were in your
Shit.
territory.
I mean, but then alcohol is a whole other thing
yeah.
too.
That's
I mean,
duking up juice.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
that's duking up juice.
That's like
yeah.
spinach to Popeye.
Yeah,
That's
it really
spinach to
is.
Popeye.
Yeah.
I mean, that type of thing that happens when you drink alcohol, maybe in like you have DUIs, maybe it's like if you get into like bar fights or something, maybe on your ID
Yeah.
to get into
This
bars,
guy's
it
a
says he
violent
can't
alcohol-
drink.
Yeah.
Well, there are public intoxication laws which apply to bars as well. So even if you can't reach a certain limit you'll be kicked out of a bar if you reach a certain limit of alcohol.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they've got to make money.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean,
and I've been in bars and clubs where people have gotten violent. I've been attacked at a bar by a dude who was super drunk for no reason.
I mean, I think
believe
this
it.
comes down to kind of like the gun thing too, right? Like, is not a way to kind of shift it into like gun control or whatever, but it's like there is that whole thing of like background checks and mental exams and psychological exams to prove whether you should have a gun or not. So what you're saying is like maybe there are these marks you get on your ID or
maybe you
something.
shouldn't be allowed into the bar
if you're a violent
if you're a
person.
violent person. Like the fact that I was at that bar and this guy came up to me and he did one of those moves in like that a fucking elementary school kid does when you like push into somebody really hard to get them to get a reaction out
Yeah,
of
they're
them.
called a wanker.
Okay,
A
but he was
wanker.
so drunk that he like fucking
Took you out.
took me out, like knocked me over onto the ground.
Oh, shit.
Right? For zero reason.
Wait, he knocked you
That
onto
was
the
him
ground?
flirting.
Yes,
That's
he
Jesus.
pushed
caveman
me
flirting.
with his hip. He hipped me onto the ground, and I just turned around and I like kicked him in the foot, like on the ground. I like kicked his foot, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I saw him do, and he like started laughing with his friends, and he went away. And I saw him do it to a couple other girls, and I told the bouncer, and eventually they escorted him out.
How
and
do
he
you
went
explain
kicking and
that?
screaming.
How do you explain? Yeah, there's a guy in there just like, hurting people. Like,
Yeah.
There's an insecure bro who's trying to get women to
was.
notice him.
He was a bro.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, well, what can you say?
I think sometimes
So defeated. by
people,
that shit.
everyone has to remember that, like guys especially, when they, kind of like don't treat sex appropriately or, flirting appropriately. It's like you have a sister, maybe. You've got a mother. Like that's a woman. And
Yeah.
if you wouldn't do it to, if you wouldn't want a man to do it to them, you shouldn't be the person to do it to
Oi,
another.
women and men are equal though, right, mate? No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Who
sorry.
was that? Oh,
What was that?
Don't get me wrong.
It was bro SourceFed.
One of my favorite things to do is buy a guy a drink. That is one of
Yeah.
my favorite things to do.
That's
like,
awesome.
Screw that rule. And I can't stand it when it's like a girl's like, a guy has to pay for me all the time.
Ah, fuck
No,
that.
I earn money. I've got money. I'll spend it how I want to. And if I
Yeah.
want to take someone out for a
you'll
nice
slam it
dinner,
on the table, huh?
fucking will.
When I
Ooh.
open a door,
You mad?
if I open a door for a guy,
getting aggressive.
their reaction is so like it's just the weirdest thing. It's
Oh,
like
shit.
you're opening a door for me, or
And
that,
I will
or
always
like,
say
oh.
chivalry ain't dead.
Because you
to
know
the
what
guy.
happens is once you get about 8 years old as a boy, your mom is like, now you got to start opening the doors, you son of a bitch,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
is cool. And I'm used to it now. I'm used to it. Yeah.
How about you hold the door open for someone that's right behind you because you're a kind person?
Yeah, it's
How about that?
irrelevant.
It's not a gender
irrelevant
thing.
of
It's a
gender.
like a
I'm
hey,
fine with it, though.
I don't want the door to smash in your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I never thought about that. If I have some reason I have a son and a daughter, would I also teach my daughter to hold open doors? I
Yes.
guess so, right?
We should be.
I was taught to hold open doors.
Unless she's really frail, I'll be like, baby, no, don't open the door.
A guy shouldn't pay for a girl
Baby,
if she doesn't
no.
at least go for her wallet. At least fake it. At least pretend
Like-
you were going to pay. But when you expect that meal to be paid for you,
Yeah, I'm not about that.
You know, I had this issue recently in my life where I was always talking about like how hard it was to open doors, and I found out not a lot of people agree with me, and that's why I had to start working out.
Oh, about how doors are hard to open?
I was like, isn't this a thing?
So
And everybody's
you're like,
no.
Definitely not.
You're like,
they are.
you're like, oh shit, I'm weak.
There are
Yes,
maybe,
that-
hold
yeah,
on,
I'm
but I
weak.
will say this.
This is not, okay, I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Hold on, I will say
Okay,
this.
not
he
wrong.
knows what I'm talking
There
about.
are maybe 3 out of 10 doors that are a little harder to open.
are you pulling when you should
about
be
it.
pushing? Are you running into the door with your face?
No, I'm just weak for the most part. I just, like you're saying, there are 3 out of 10
There's
doors
3
that
out of
surprise
10.
you.
Yes, they're
That
like,
surprise
whoa
you.
now.
Just reminds me of that
Yeah.
famous comedian's comic strip where it's like the school for the gifted and the guy's pushing you to
X-Men.
try and get over and it says pull.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
Oh, that's my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He said the magic words.
Dum, dum. Yeah, I know. I used to watch that guy. The X-Men cartoon that you're talking about, 90s X-Men one.
Yes. The shit.
Completely unwatchable now.
So good.
Yeah.
I watched it.
I
I watched
tried.
it 2
Yeah.
or 3 years ago. It is horrible.
It's
but
so unwatchable.
the best shit in the world. I had
At
a
least it
roommate
was
and I-
Jubilee.
Jubilee was great.
Jubilee and she's the worst in that.
Yeah. Blink fire lights.
Get us caught every time.
Yeah.
It's
I
drawn
was trying
so
to do
bad.
good.
Yeah, the animation's bad, the stories
voice
are bad.
acting.
Yeah.
I had a.
They
Does not hold
recycle
up.
animation.
It does not hold up.
Is
Yeah.
this going to be weird?
What?
When I was growing up, my cartoon crushes were Beast, Michelangelo.
Who's Michael? Oh, from
Party,
the
dude.
Turtles,
Party,
Ninja
dude.
Turtles.
I'm not sure any of these are human. Maybe it was the voices.
Yeah,
that I
definitely
was
not. What were the
connecting
other
on.
ones?
I mean,
I
Goku's
will-
still the hottest.
I
Goku's
would-
the hottest because
Wait,
he goes
is there
normal.
more?
Huh?
Are there
I
more?
think that's
I've got a
interesting.
long list.
because-
Eric from The Little Mermaid is the hottest cartoon.
Oh, okay.
hands
Well, that's a
down.
guy.
Trent from Daria. He was so
No,
hot to me.
he's all
I was like,
yours.
mm.
You can have
Was he
him.
the football player guy?
No, he was Jane's brother. In the band.
Was he the hippie guy?
No, he was. I mean, he was like the rock guy.
Yeah, he was like the punk kind of stoner dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jane. I had a crush on Jane too.
There you go.
There you go.
I didn't. I
Who was
liked.
your cartoon
I
crush?
always liked the gothic characters. Like
Yeah.
it's weird. Like the gothic girl in Danny Phantom, and I really liked the spider from James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, she was so rad.
I thought she was so hot.
That makes me feel better about Michelangelo.
yeah, I
the
thought
Beast.
she just had a sexy ass voice.
It is the voice.
Yeah.
It's hey, I might eat your head off.
Well,
my-"
plus she was like dark and mysterious too.
Yeah, she was dark and mysterious.
So you're a
Ugh.
legs man.
I just
Because it's
I
fast.
love
like
dark-
any character Christina Ricci played.
is that who does that
pretty
voice?
much.
Yes.
I bet
Well,
she's
no,
all
it
old
wasn't.
now,
I
huh?
honestly
No,
think
she's
it was
looking
like
good.
who's that woman that Joe says he's in love with? That old
Oh,
woman?
from the
Susan
Water
Sarandon.
Boy?
I think it's Susan
Oh,
Sarandon.
it's Susan
Love
Sarandon.
Susu.
From the
Pretty
Water Boy,
sure.
that's Kathy Bates.
That's Kathy Bates.
My
It's
mom looks like Kathy
Pretty
Bates.
sure Susan Sarandon. Oh no, wait. You know who it is? It's Meryl Streep. I think it's Meryl Streep. It's Susan,
Susan
Sarandon.
Sarandon.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but who
Thanks,
was the
Ricky.
spider in James
Shout
and
out
the
to
Giant
Ricky
Peach?
for getting that one.
The spider in James
Someone's
and the
yelling
Giant
at their
Peach.
damn headphones right now, going, "Who is this person?"
Oh, the ladybug is Jane Leeves from Frasier, who also played Beast in the live action. I've thought about Frasier a couple times since we've been up here. It is Susan Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon.
Get out.
Nice.
Sexy voice
Oh,
Susan.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
she's. I mean, Susan, dude. I mean,
Rocky Horror
look,
Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture
my
Show.
type.
Susan Sarandon is the. Oh my god,
Yeah.
beautiful.
She's won one
Beautiful,
Oscar.
hot,
Great actress.
great actress.
How she
She's
only
won
one.
She's won 48 awards and had 55 nominations. Just only one
Wow.
Oscar.
Only one Oscar.
Yeah. But,
Thelma
God
and
damn!
Louise.
Can you imagine? She has so many different award ceremonies
Yeah.
for like weeks.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I've said this a lot, but I had a big crush on the Chipette with the glasses.
You
from
sound like
Alvin
you're
and the
gonna
Chipmunks.
cry. I liked her too, though.
Aww.
Yeah, I
The
had a
one
big
that was
crush
like
on her.
Simon's equivalent.
Yes.
Aw.
Oh no, not Simon's
Theodore.
equivalent. Theodore. Or yeah, Simon.
Simon.
Yeah, it was Simon.
I
Simon was the
also-
glasses kid. Yeah.
I also liked from Powerpuff Girls, the red one, Blossom.
Blossom.
Yeah.
I always liked the hard ass women. They're just
I think I've literally got
Now,
every.
is that
Wait, we
Powerpuff
spoke about Daria,
Girls?
didn't we? La 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 la. Okay, now I've
Is
done
it
all of this.
Powerpuff or Powderpuff Girls?
Powerpuff
Power.
Girls.
Powerpuff.
Blossom.
Dee-dee-dee.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I think you were watching the wrong cartoon.
Yes, I was.
I've
This
had-
one was about makeup tutorials. Those
what
girls
you
that were
wanna do.
doing each other's
I've seen those
makeup.
ads.
It was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, throw a 80s or 90s cartoon at me. I'll see if I've got the theme song down.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like this game. 80s or 90s.
We also talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there, and we all know that one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Gummy Bears.
Gummy
Bears,
bears
great.
bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco. There's two theme songs.
Modern
There were
Life.
two theme songs to Rocco's Modern Life.
There were?
Rocco's
Yes.
Modern Life.
There's that one by the B-52s, and then there was another one that was like just instrumental.
Oh.
Can we take a second to
Hey.
talk about Ren and Stimpy?
Yes.
I
Okay.
did
Do you
not
know?
like that
Yes.
show.
No, you shouldn't.
That was like my threshold as a kid. I was like, that's where I won't go. I won't go that far.
And see,
loved
what
it.
Steve
Loved
pointed
it,
out
loved
to
it,
me
loved it.
recently, tell us, Steve, there's two different versions of
Oh
Ren
yeah,
and Stimpy.
there's a
The Ren and Stimpy, you know.
Well, there's Ren and Stimpy we know and love, which is we're already pretty twisted and fucked up.
Oh, so
In fact,
wrong.
if you go back and watch the original Ren and Stimpy cartoons, there's so much innuendo and like very adult themes and really fucked up twisted shit.
I'm
It's
pretty
not for
sure one of them
kids.
got milked once.
Well, yeah. But yes. But then John Crick-Falusi, the guy that created Ren and Stimpy,
What
was
drugs is he on?
well,
like,
I
how
don't
many?
know. He grew up on the old Looney Tunes cartoons,
which
and-
were fucked up.
which
Yeah.
were very fucked up, and he's
And
just
I don't know why it just felt more artistic though. They took on satire and they took on like the war and things.
Well,
like
and they
Ren and
were
Stimpy was
also-
just fucking each other.
Well, here's the thing about Looney Tunes
Yeah.
versus the Disney cartoons of the Silly Symphonies is the Silly Symphonies would they kind of originally did a rubber hose style animation where their hands would like wiggle around and do a lot of weird shit.
It's not like the original Mickey
like
Mouse.
Steamboat
Yeah,
Willie and
yeah.
shit like that. But then they stopped doing that and went more into like kind of like very traditional human moving characters and stuff, but Looney Tunes stayed doing rubber hose, like really exaggerated shit, and that's what separated Looney Tunes from the Disney stuff, is that they were very more stylistically strange and fucked up, and that's where John Kay's inspirations came from. But John Kay was kicked out of Nickelodeon because his ideas were way too fucked up, and so he had Ren and Stimpy taken away from him. And he ended up making a couple other cartoons after Ren and Stimpy, like the Ripping Friends, and then he tried to do a George Liquor show and all that kind of shit. But then
this new version.
Then he got the rights to Ren and Stimpy back and took it to Spike TV and made the adult party cartoon Ren and Stimpy.
And it's just
that is just porn.
It's just porn.
It's just porn.
Just drawn porn.
Do you know how long
with
it
the
took me to
characters.
realize that Ren and Stimpy were real animals? They were a
dog and
Chihuahua.
cat.
I didn't know that until Steve told
Holy
me
hell.
recently,
Wow,
and I
you
was
didn't
like,
know?
okay, I was baby Brie. I was like 4.
Yeah, we were.
Well, how am I supposed to know?
was
I
probably
was just like,
barely
they're
Beep,
popping
beep, beep.
each other's pimples, and my sister and I would do happy, happy joy. We would like take down our
Yeah.
pants.
That's right.
You know what's
and
crazy?
rub our fucking
Happy, happy,
asses
joy,
on each
joy.
other
Happy,
and do
happy,
happy,
joy.
happy, joy, joy, like some pervs.
So the thing about Happy Happy Joy Joy is that's a parody of the guy
Rocco's
the guy that we
Modern Life?
kept talking about, the guy that narrated all the old animated cartoons.
Peter.
No,
PETA.
Oh, I'm gonna kill myself
Buckle.
later. I
PETA.
remember this. No, the guy that did the voice of the narrator on the Ewok Adventure.
Yeah.
We were just talking
where
about
it was
him.
a Peter thing.
No. It's
There's a-
Burl Ives. Burl Ives.
Burl.
So Happy Happy Joy Joy is a fucking parody of Burl Ives shit. And kids are supposed to know that. And now as an
We're
adult, I
supposed to
barely
know
know.
that?
Well, now I barely know
Touche.
it because I love Burl Ives. And I'm like, there's a Burl Ives track because the beginning of Happy Happy Joy Joy is like this guy going like, it's your old pal Stinky Whistleteats. There's a song about a whale. And he's insane. But then I was listening to Burl Ives shit the other day, and there's literally a track from Burl Ives that starts off going like, this is Burl Ives, and this is a song about a duck, or something, and it's very
That's
much.
amazing.
And I was like, holy shit, this is Ren and Stimpy. This is Happy Happy Joy Joy.
So I mean,
Crazy.
it's one of those things where it's like a kid's cartoon that's pretty much for adults.
For adults, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adults.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
But the adult party
But-
cartoon has like full frontal vaginas and boobs.
Well, I
and
gotta see that.
Ren and Stimpy are at the beach, and they're like.
And when we were watching it, when we were watching the extremely dirty version, what I think it was either you or Owen said something that was very interesting to me. You were talking about how the original version, the censored version, was better because they had to hide something. There
Yeah,
was
it was
that
more
mystery
creative.
there.
I love
Yeah.
the double meanings behind things because it still happens in Pixar movies and all that. I love the 25 things that adults got that the kids didn't. It's just clever.
It's hard to
Yeah.
admit that censorship does give us creativity. We have
Yeah.
to use it.
You
You
have
know-
to.
Yeah.
And
Also-
especially if you have like young kids and you're like sitting there watching a bunch of movies all day with your kids.
There needs to
like,
be a
you
nod to the
gotta have
adults.
something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
adults.
exactly. That's why Pixar's shit is so good.
It's
Because
so
they've
good.
cornered the market of like entertaining children and adults at the same time. They're so good at it.
It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, are.
That's
But
why
what
I think
happened in
Star
Cars
Wars.
2?
What?
I don't want to. I
Kidding.
don't want to talk about
I didn't even mind Cars 2. I hear people don't like Cars 2. I think it was cool.
I didn't even know there was a Cars 2.
Ooh, and they're coming out with a third.
Planes.
Listen,
Oh,
I've got a
that's right.
pretty.
No,
a
that's
spin-off?
not even Pixar.
There was a spinoff. It's Disney.
No,
it
it's
is
Disney.
Disney.
Oh, it's not
But it's not
Pixar.
Pixar.
Yeah.
You know what?
But
I
it
got
looks
into an
just like
argument
it.
with a friend of mine over Frozen because I thought it was Pixar, but it's totally
Oh wow,
not.
yeah, definitely not.
I felt like such an idiot.
Do you think
after.
Chicken Little is Pixar?
No.
No, that's
Definitely not. Yeah.
Shit,
Oh, yeah,
that
I'm
scared
sorry.
me.
Too, what the fuck?
What the hell, man?
Happened.
I've got sciatica,
She
so
had
I'm
her
getting
leg.
extreme knee pains and pains shooting down my leg. So I just need to straighten my leg. But the problem is when I straighten it, it literally
It
is
looks
the
like a-
outside of the
it looked like a
table.
terrifying
It looks like, you know,
creature.
Wizard of Oz, the
Yes.
witch's face.
There's no place like home.
Oh my god.
Something
My
I was
pillows
gonna
like
say.
painkillers.
Oh, what were we just talking about with the?
Ren and Stimpy,
Yeah, but we were just talking about something, and then we.
Bell,
Pixar?
knives.
Oh, Pixar.
Oh yeah, yeah. So here's the reason why I don't. Where I've got a pretty vast imagination, and I can like stretch my imagination to suspend my disbelief.
Yes.
You know, but the Cars movies, I cannot wrap my head around. Why the fuck
The
these
universe.
sentient goddamn cars exist and how they exist? I just can't put my head around the universe.
I know
It's too
exactly
A
different.
car
how
can
that.
use a camera, and it
I
just
know
doesn't
exactly
work.
how
It
that
doesn't work.
boardroom meeting went. It was them going, "What did you do when you were kids?" It's like, "Oh, I had this mat, and it was like like the carpet mat thing." Did you guys have these? It was like every kid had one growing up, and you would have your play wooden. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, it's got
and you would
tracks
drive
printed
around the
on
city.
the mat.
You're
Yeah.
like, boom, make it a movie, make it good.
Well, see, but here's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I've seen anthropomorphic cars has been a thing throughout history. and it's fine, but it's just that there's always been this kind of balance of like humans and talking cars together, and that made more sense to me because it's like, okay, well, the humans probably made these
because the
but
fact
when
that there are no humans, cars are
humans,
redundant.
Yes,
You do not need a car because no one's getting from A to B. So then the car should be in a car.
Robots. Robots and the future of like technology taking over. What
but,
if
like,
that's
why
what
would
cars
robots
is?
need cars?
They don't. The cars are the robots.
But why?
So they can wheel
A car
themselves
But how
around.
did that
purpose
start,
is to
though?
transport people.
Yeah.
No
Have you guys
people.
seen the trailer for the new movie that Pixar is coming out where there are no humans? They explain it very specifically. They say there are no humans. They're anthropomorphic animals.
Oh, yeah.
It takes place in a universe where humans didn't happen and animals, I guess,
See,
all
that
teamed
makes,
up together.
That makes
that-
way
yeah,
more sense than cars.
Yeah.
But they
Because
had
cars were
exposition.
meant to transport humans
know-
from point A to point B.
They knew that Pixar knew that humans like you didn't like cars, so they were like, we need to explain it to them. You got to see the video where they
I mean,
explain
it's
it.
not even that I need an explanation. It's just that it's so much a stretch of the imagination that it literally angers me.
I
It
find
is a
myself
stretch.
agreeing with you, Steve, on
Yeah,
this one. If
yeah.
I had children, I don't think I'd show them cars because I don't
I
want to
sure
have to tell
wouldn't.
them
Yeah.
the logic behind it.
Yeah.
Like Toy Story is similar enough to our real life that we've in the back of our imagination we've thought, what if toys are
Plausible.
alive?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Toys are
plausible.
alive, that's fine.
I
Because-
think about cars being alive, like ghosts haunting cars and stuff, like
Well, yeah,
Twilight Zone
Christine
shit.
is a Stephen King story about a
Yes.
haunted car. Fine.
back to-
But humans exist in those worlds.
Back to cars.
Like, some kid is going to come up to me and go like, why are there seats in the cars?
Who are they
Sitting in
for?
them.
Who are they for?
What are their
Why
door
are they shaped
handles?
for- why are there door handles?
I'm sorry cars hurt you.
It just
So-
a joke.
Sorry.
It hurt my brain.
So my car, I have a VW Beetle.
Oh.
Back to the original question that we had.
Yes.
My car, I think, is a mean girl.
It's a mean girl.
I think
Like
I've got
Lindsay
a mean
Lohan?
girl. I think I've got a mean girl car. I think I've got a car that kind of, if it could, it would check out the other cars in traffic and be like, ew, gross.
Yeah, because it's a
Coincidentally,
convertible.
Lindsay
It's a
Lohan was in
convertible.
Kirby.
Fully
Fully
loaded.
loaded.
Herbie, fully loaded.
I loved Herbie. Oh,
So maybe you're
Okay, but are you
Beetle,
talking about
Beetle.
the OG Herbies?
I'm
or are you
talking about Lindsay Lohan. No, I thought she was so hot. I was like 8 when I remember seeing that
Alright.
movie, and I thought Lindsay Lohan was so hot. Oh, I'm
OG
sorry, I just had
Herbie.
to say-
I mean, the
What
OG
kind of
Herbie
Herbie
is
is it?
unbeatable. It's wacky ass shit.
I have a Ford Focus, and I like to give my car a personality too, and I like to think of it as Watson from Iron Man.
That's cool.
And-
Oh, Watson from Iron Man?
yeah.
Not Sherlock Holmes?
I mean, yeah. No, wait. I'm
Jarvis?
sorry. Jarvis.
There you
Jarvis.
go, yeah.
Jarvis. I think of him like Jarvis. It's just,
Okay,
it's
that's
just
cool.
my servant. It's not a male nor female like many Muppets, as Jim Henson say.
Yeah. So the Vision is Jarvis.
Jarvis. It's just. It's
Is it? No. Is Vision
we're talking-
Jarvis?
we're
Oh,
actually
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the
Vision is Jarvis.
Age of Ultron
Spoilers.
movie.
Oh, please. You haven't seen the fucking
it's
movie now.
so confusing to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so he was a computer, but the computer got smart enough that they put him into a body, and that body is stronger than any
You know what
other body.
I was listening to How Did This Get Made of Furious 7. I think that's what it's called, Furious 7.
Mm-hmm.
The final Fast and Furious movie, or at least the
Yeah.
current final.
7, yep.
Yeah. So, and they were talking about how the movie has more unbelievable things happening to people than all of the Marvel movies combined.
and that's fine.
Like, and it's and like they're just literally they're immortal human beings.
You
in
know
those
what?
movies.
Why not?
I mean, why not?
Fuck it.
Like I said,
It's fun.
And this is what the issue you have with the Cars movie. You take a little bit of real and a little bit of fake, and you get entertainment. But they took too much fake for
There's
Cars.
too much in Cars because at
that's
least
all,
it's like
all fake.
if you don't
It's all fake,
establish if you don't establish that your characters aren't superheroes but throw them into situations where they should have died 5 times
Yeah.
now already, then it's like, okay, by the 5th time you're like, all right, I guess these
Something's
are
up.
just cartoon characters, whatever.
Okay,
I'm
but
gonna stop
what about
thinking about
Star
it.
Wars? Shouldn't all the characters be dead?
Oh, it starts it off for the how
How can that be a
best
stretch,
exposition
but not
in the
Star
world
Wars?
a long time ago
In a
galaxy
far,
far, far away.
which means you can do
Anything.
anything. That
Anything.
first
But they're still
sentence.
human beings.
Well,
I like that they say long ago and not in the future. So they're saying this isn't based on you at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so long ago that we can't even comprehend it. Well, it's the idea that the universe is so vast that there
That
could
humans
be,
are
there could be
immortal.
human-esque type people that aren't
There are so
necessarily
many
us.
other aliens. How many could you name if we
Oh,
go back and
so
forth?
many.
Ready?
I don't know.
Well,
Nemoidians?
all right.
Rodians.
Back to cars.
Tuscan Raiders.
Back to my
know about
car.
that.
My car's as a
Okay,
Toyota Corolla.
They-
She's black.
They're doing
Biffs.
this. They're doing
So they're
this.
gonna do it. No.
This is how you flex your nerd
Wampus?
muscle. You know how machismo people go to the bar and beat up people?
Crate
This is how nerd
dragons.
people do.
Jawas?
This is how nerds do it.
Ewoks.
Well, how do we do
We can talk
Wookiees.
about paintings and shit.
Okay.
Like,
Let's see.
I like it when it says something. I like when there's words on it.
Yeah, I actually like that
Did you
too.
say
Yeah.
Pneumatians already?
Do you
That was my
like
first one.
simple
Primordian, yeah.
paintings, or do you like surreal?
I very much like
Banthas.
simple. I'm very into.
Banthas, great.
We only got a couple
Rancors.
minutes left.
Rancors?
All right, guys, we're done.
I had the best.
Dewbacks.
Oh yeah, nice.
No, they're not done.
Keeping
Oh.
on Tatooine.
Yeah.
So I like when the paintings
Yeah.
have very little colors.
Oh,
What's the
because,
species with the
Absolutely.
testicles
when you
for a
are
mouth?
forced
The testicles for
only
a
use
mouse.
some
Oh,
little
you're talking
things.
about
My friend doesn't
Ponda
like
Baba?
it.
You have to use your imagination. You have to use your imagination to figure out.
I don't think this is a real
Baba
thing.
and-
What species?
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody for listening to the SourceFed podcast. Let us know what you
Gamorreans.
think.
Gamorreans.
If you had something in your life and it was gone immediately, would you do something to get it back? Even if it's really difficult.
Like
what
your
would it
job, like your job at Taco Bell.
be? Your job at Taco Bell or your hundreds of
Mandalorians.
thousands of Instagram followers.
Is they a race?
Yeah.
The Mandalorians.
Yeah.
That's just cars.
Yeah. Shh. Back to cars.
I'm William Haynes.
Bothans.
Bothans is
I'm
good.
William
Do you get it though?
Steve Zerr
Cars.
does the Tauntauns.
If a
And
man
I'm-
was also a car, Mandalorian.
Brie S.
if,
Rigg.
if you had to explain it, it's not funny. I'm sorry. Brie S. Rigg. William Haynes. End of the podcast.
Twi'leks.
Get out of here, Will.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
it's a pretty- pretty
I mean, droids
standard
don't really
one.
count.
Droids
I
don't
guess.
count, no.
Oh fuck! What's Jar Jar?
Oh,
Gungans.
Gungans. Yeah.
I wish I didn't know that.
Oh, God. How about,
No one's listening anymore.
no, definitely.
Loose.
Darren's haircut. I can see him from here. It's nice.
That stuff? Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
I
say
think
what you said.
The point I was trying to make, well, what it came to is that, so boys, I think women don't realize the
table over.
But it was
and
loud
over,
as fuck,
as
probably.
loud as fuck to like come over and I'd give her a kiss and then I'd hop back all the way and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.